Okay, today I'm going to show you how I scan my family photos using my flatbed scanner, the Epson Perfection V550 Photo. Flatbed scanners are the best way to digitize the majority of your photos, so let's dive right in and I'll show you what a typical scanning session looks like for me. I've made sure that I have a clean, dedicated workspace, and I've gathered the photos that I plan to scan today, focusing on the photos that I have that have the highest preservation needs. Next, I'm going to prep the scanner bed by opening it up and using the blower to blow away any dust, dirt, and other particles that I don't want showing up in the final image. Then I'll go in with the microfiber cloth to be sure that there aren't any smudges or fingerprints on the scanner bed, and I'm going to make sure that the glass is as clean as can be so I can get a clean scan. I make sure to do this part frequently throughout the scan session. You would be surprised how dirt and dust manage to work their way onto your clean glass within just a few scans. Next, I'll open up the Epson Scan software and make sure that my settings are where I want them to be. I use professional mode and I have my preferred settings saved under Digital Master right here, which I created manually. So let's run down what those settings are. We've got reflective here for document type, which just means that I'm scanning a photo or a document. If I was scanning a negative or a slide, which I will do later, I would change this right here to film, but I'm starting with a photo, so I'll make sure that auto exposure type is set to photo. Then I'll go down here. I use 48-bit color for my digital masters since I want the highest quality possible. So 48-bit will take longer to scan and it will produce a larger file, but my goal is to have a digital image that is as close to the original as possible with the highest quality. There are options for grayscale and black and white, as you can see, but remember that you always want to scan in color, even for black and white photos. You'll see here the resolution is set to 800 dpi for now. So far I've only talked about PPI, and though DPI and PPI are commonly used interchangeably, there is a slight difference. PPI stands for pixels per inch in a digital image, and DPI stands for dots per inch in a printed image. Since my software uses DPI, that's what I will be referring to it as in this video. If you're trying to decide on what resolution and file format that you should use for your photos, go ahead and check out my other video, What You Need to Know Before You Start Scanning Your Family Photos, and hopefully that'll help you make your decision. Personally, I choose to adjust the resolution based on the size and composition of each photo according to archival standards. I prefer to scan my photos as TIFF files, and I try to get as close to 4,000 pixels on the longest side as possible. The file format is right here, so this is where I make sure that the files are saved to the correct folder once they're done scanning. And the files are TIFF files, so you'll see here, not compressed. In my opinion, it's worth it to put in the effort for a quality digital master since I'm only doing this once and this is the photo that will be preserved for future use. I don't mess around with the file name here much because I end up changing that later in my process after it's been scanned, but if you wanted to automate that process, that can be helpful too. Lastly, you'll see that I don't have the Epson software make any adjustments to my images. If I ever want to edit the photo, convert the file type, or make the file size smaller to share it, I will make a copy of the digital master, but I'll always leave the high quality scan that was done naturally as is. What I mean by naturally is that you'll see here, I don't use the unsharp mask, dust removal, color restoration, any of these features. I scan the photo as is for the digital master, and later if I want to restore or enhance the photo or get rid of any scratches or dust, I'll make a copy of the digital master to work with from there. You'll have much more control editing copies in a program like Photoshop where you can tweak or reverse the edits, but once you scan a photo in Epson Scan, there's no going back unless you rescan the photo. So I've made sure the glass of the scanner bed is clean, opened up my software, and now I'm going to start with the first photo. I blow away any dirt or dust off of the photo itself and gently wipe it with my microfiber cloth before I lay the photo face down on the glass, gently lining the photo up with this line here and leaving a little bit of space between the edge of the scanner and the photo to make sure that the entire image is captured when it's scanned. Then I close the scanner lid gently. If you close the lid too quickly, the quick motion might create a draft, which could move your photo around and make it scan crooked. The longest side of this photo is 7 inches long, so 4,000 pixels divided by 7 inches is roughly 571. I rounded that up and changed the DPI to 600 DPI to scan this particular photo. Then I click preview and the scanner will do a quick scan so I can make sure that it's captured what I want it to scan. This is where I'll draw the marquee, so I move the cursor shaped like a plus sign. I click here and I drag it across the photo to manually mark the area I want scanned. Now that I've confirmed that this is the area that I want to scan, I go ahead and click the scan button. Once the photo has been scanned, the image will then be sent to my Epson scan file, and that's that. My image has been digitized and I'm ready to move on to the next one. Depending on how much time I have, I'll generally scan between 20 to 50 photos in one session. Once I'm done scanning, I'll go to the Epson scan file where they were all saved and I'll enter the metadata for each photo there. Entering the metadata for your digital family history photos is a really important step that you don't want to skip, so check out my video on how to easily do that if you haven't. Then I'll change the file name before saving it to its ultimate destination in my family history folder, and that's what a typical scan session looks like for me. Now, if you're curious about how I do negatives and slides, I'll show you how to use these film holders that came with the scanner. First, this piece here on the scanner needs to be taken out whenever you're scanning negatives and slides. That piece is only left in for photos and documents. Okay, let's pull out a few negatives here to use as an example. Since this is a negative, we'll be using this film holder. I pop out this piece and take my negatives. Then I gently place them in the film holder like this, shiny side down. And then once I've done that, I clip this piece back in to hold the negatives in place. Then I gently use the blower and the microfiber cloth again to wipe down both sides of these and make sure that they're clean. There's an A here. These letters A, B, and C will tell you where to place the film holder. Negatives are A, so I'm going to line this A with the A on the scanner just like that, and then I'll close the lid and go to the scan software to make some changes. So I'm going to change document type to film. I won't have to change this because it's color negative film, but I do want to change the resolution to 3200 DPI, which is the recommended dots per inch for negatives and slides. Then I click preview and you'll see that instantly each negative has been created into a photo right here in color on my screen, each separated into its own marquee to be scanned separately. I have a few different sizes that I can even view these images in, so I can look at them as a group or individually. After that, I hit scan and then I sit back because those usually take the longest to scan. So that's a basic scanning session for me. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Next, I'll be showing you how to make copies of your digital master that you can upload to genealogy sites and share with your family. So I'll be showing you how to make the file size smaller, even change the file format if you like, and I'll also show you how to download images from these sites so that you can continue to add them to your growing collection. Thanks for watching. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, I hope that you'll consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. Thanks again.